I'll move the agenda to be approved. Glenn.
We have a motion by Glenn, and I believe I heard a second by Larry.
Yes.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries. 1.6. Do we have any public comments for this evening?
Not that were submitted to me.
We do not. We do have one announcement to express our gratitude for a cash donation that was received to the school district to participate in the Polar Express. Waiting for it to load. Can't remember the name of the
Polar Express.
Yeah, they donated, and they
$250.
have donated before as well. Oh gosh, you guys, it's still loading. Sorry. Fidelity Charitable donated a check for $250. If there's no other public comments, we'll move on to approval of the meeting minutes. We have a stack of them.
Nicole, I have just one correction, I guess, and that's on the October 14th meeting under item 2.3, accept staff resignations. We have a motion and a second there, but we don't have it recorded, or we're not showing that there was a vote. That was the October 14th under 2.3.
Glenn, you were cutting out on my laptop.
Oh, I said on the, can everyone hear me? Can you hear me okay? On the October 14th minutes under item 2.3, accepting staff resignation, we have a motion and a second listed, but we don't have any vote listed.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll move the approval of all of the minutes that are presented.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Glenn and a second by Debbie. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Moving on to 2.1, the Finance Committee.
We did meet and reviewed the vouchers and also discussed the charitable donation that you just referred to, Nicole, and also got an update on the winter transportation. And I believe Beth was going to potentially follow up with the wind sled operator. That's all we had.
Policy Committee. Were you able to meet
Policy Committee did meet. Yep. And we went through several policies that are up for review, and they'll be discussed more and later on through. Let me see if I can figure out which ones they were.
Well, we went through the employee handbook.
Yep.
And discussed that being the first reading.
Food-wise SNAP Ed agreement.
Yep, and then the Neola policies, they're listed. There's a few numbers.
Yeah, and we'll discuss them as we go through here. So.
If there's nothing else, to administrative reports 3.1 through 3.7. Is there any discussion board questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the administrative reports 3.1 through 3.7 as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Debbie and a second by Cindy to accept the reports 3.1 through 3.7. Any further discussion? All
In
those in favor?
In discussion, I just want to state that in reading through all those reports and everything that's being done, I just felt nothing but gratitude and pride and just astonishment at what an awesome staff and district we have and the things that they're doing and getting done through these difficult times. And I just wanted to give that shout out to the staff and our administrators that thank you all for the job that you're doing.
We still have a motion on the floor board, and all those that are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Motion carries. I can't see everyone with the screen up, so I'm like trying to just scan really fast back and forth. Moving on to vouchers, 4.1.
This is Glenn. I'll move that we approve the vouchers in the amount of $822,055.30.
Second.
We have a motion by Glenn to approve the vouchers and a second by Larry. Could we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Larry Darrigan,
Yes.
Esme Martinson,
Yes.
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Magdalene Dale,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Deb Knopf,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. 5.1 under unfinished business, policy 8390, animals on district property, second reading. Were there any questions?
We have no questions. We believe that our lawyer went through this. We believe that the nurse has gone through it, so we're moving it forward for the next final reading.
Yep.
I read through it and I'll go ahead and make that motion to approve the policy 8390, animals on district property.
A second.
We have a motion by Deb, second by, was it Esme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. 5.2 policy 9101, Indian policies and procedures and Native American involvement. There was one change noted.
Yes, just the Monday of the meeting, we changed it to the third Monday for our regular scheduled meetings, and it's actually the third. So I changed that. But I thought I would let you know and get an approval on that. There's 26 of those mentions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Cindy and a second by Deb to approve as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Please. 5.3, 2020-2021 employee handbook.
Beth, has our attorney reviewed this? Yep.
Linda, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not brought this forward to John.
Yep, that's right.
We never have had it looked at by the lawyer.
Have the employees been engaged? As the committee of the employees been engaged in the process?
Let's see, just Randy and myself and the policy committee.
It usually
And
strictly
Beth.
the admin does the employee handbook.
I'm
That's how we've
sorry,
done it in the
what?
past. In the
I'm
past, it's always been the admin look at it. It doesn't go to employees.
Okay,
I think at the last policy meeting, we read through it and there were a couple questions as to like if we needed to have the athletic or the group activities clarified, because there were some activities listed that were being participated in and funded, and then but were crossed out. I think the Gay Straight Alliance was crossed out, but it was happening. So that was something that we were double checking. I think Beth, correct me if I'm wrong, but otherwise the handbook looked good and there were just a couple small adjustments. So that was going to be like edited and brought back, I believe.
That's correct.
Are there any other questions, board? Or anything else admin you'd like to cover?
Is it
No, I can-
customary? No, I'm sorry. Is it
go
customary
ahead.
to send these policies to a lawyer every time we go through one?
Larry, I wasn't suggesting that we, do that. And, at some point, hopefully they've been reviewed. But no, I didn't, I was just interested if they had been. I wasn't saying they need to be.
I think too, some of those issues that we're talking about that weren't included in there or were crossed out were some of the similar or the same things that were in the last handbook. Pretty much the same things like Glee
Yeah,
Club.
or there was updates because of the Neola policies and stuff like that with changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just language almost and grammatical edits more than anything. Although I think that there are two kind of changes to like staff and employee activities outside of the school. So there was some language added, or maybe it's not new, but there was a policy that we looked at for full-time staff and part-time staff and engaging in activities or group activities that were not appropriate for.
I think
employees
those
of the
policies
district.
are coming up next in new business too.
Okay.
So we'll talk about
Yep.
those. again, but
Perfect.
I'll go ahead and
Okay.
make a motion to approve the 2021 employee handbook in its second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Deb and a second by Larry. I have one question, quick. I can't get my stuff to load. I don't know if the internet is just like super hogged up on this Monday evening, but is the incentive still in there for this year that was in last year?
No,
Okay.
You mean for absences, monthly absences? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean? Or,
That's sick leave. Yeah. Or
we took that
sick
out.
leave.
You took it out, but it was revised into now that people can carry over up to 960 hours of leave and vacation. Is that how I read it?
Let me,
I can't, if you
Carry up
can
to
pull yours
120
up,
days.
I'll look at yours, but I can't get mine to come up.
gotta find what page that's on.
I mean, that was a pretty critical issue in the year before the pandemic hit us, was how to minimize use of substitute, the high use of substitute teachers that we were experiencing, and get teachers to be more understanding of how their absences played out. So maybe that's been accomplished but through discussion, but I know that was something we were really looking at.
Yeah, and I,
Debbie,
probably approved it for a year, but
Right.
I don't remember it being in the handbook. I don't recall that anymore, but probably worth making sure.
And I'm guessing our expectation is that we haven't had much need for substitutes this fall, and we probably won't need much in the spring, although who knows?
Is that the wording you're looking? Can you see the wording on my screen, Nicole?
No.
No. I just see your the board docs agenda.
Oh, okay, I have to switch to where I'm,
Yeah, they scratched out that staff not using any of their yearly allotted sick days will receive an incentive of $100 monthly. Staff with leave. Is that the part, Nicole, you're talking about?
Yeah, it was hard to tell what was
That was
scratched.
scratched, yeah.
Is that a change, Randy, that staff can carry up to 960 hours of leave time?
that's just sick time. That's always been allowed. That's always been in the handbook. I'm not sure why it looks like it was changed because it's always been 120 days.
I had the wrong hours. So 960 is correct.
Oh. I think when we switched over from hours to, or from days, we always kept everything in days to hours. It was maybe miscalculated, but it was always 120 days was our intent.
We have a motion by Debbie and a second by Larry to approve. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 I think I heard enough ayes. It's so hard to not see you guys. Moving on to 6.1, consider requests to move to level 2.
That's me. And actually what that should read is to make an adjusted start date. So way back when we were taking a look at extending level 1, I came to you to request that we move level 1 instruction to January 15th by recommendation of our health partners, really taking a look at basically 2 weeks from New Year's Eve. Their feeling was we would be able to see any COVID positive activity at that point. That being the case, with all the work that the instructional committee has been doing, and with the reality that the end of our semester is January 22nd, it just makes logistical sense for us to extend that January 15th to January 22nd so that if we're able, fingers crossed, to come back and move to level 2, we would do so on Monday, January 25th, which is the beginning of the second semester or the third quarter. So that is what I'm bringing forward to the board tonight. And not as it reads, moving to level 2. We're hopefully going to move to level 2 and the earliest date for that would be Monday, January 25th.
That seems to make good sense to me.
Does to me too. I motion to approve the level 2 move back until January 20, what was that date? 25th.
That would be the first, the earliest date that we would be able to move to level 2 at the mainland school building.
Is this going to be the last time we change a date unless everything else falls apart?
My gosh, I sure hope so. Boy, oh boy.
How many times have we changed it now?
All year so far, Larry, all year.
Just too many.
Yeah.
Well, I know the Head Start also had to move it back, and they're a tiny little group, the Bayfield Head Start. So it's just an unfortunate reality.
We have a motion on the floor, guys, by Cindy.
I'll second it.
And
In
second.
discussion, Beth, maybe we can look at, if we're looking at moving that back to the 25th there, when would we look at having the teachers come back to school?
I'd certainly like to have teachers coming back, 2 weeks out, 1 week out at bare minimum, really to get people back in their spaces, kind of working out any kinks that need to be worked out, just making certain that they're in and everything's operational. So admin, we'll be looking at that real quick right after Christmas and share out that information to the board.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that we put in place now, when this all came and hit the fan, all our air stuff and our fans and our elevators and our fire alarms and anything else that we need to fix is done now, so we don't come back and say, oh, wait, we tested it and it didn't work.
I know Joel is on the call. Joel, do you want to answer that?
I'd be happy to address that. We've already tested the fire alarm. We're still commissioning about 90% of the Johnson Control stuff has already been commissioned and tested. There's just a small portion of that stuff left, and only really 2 rooms that we still have a little bit of control work to do, but we're on point to be done in the next week and a half with everything tested, verified, ready to go. Elevator's been tested, verified. We did the fire alarm system last week, tested, verified, so we're good to go.
So the 10% that isn't done, what is that?
There was a couple of rooms, Larry, and this didn't even have anything to do with the lightning strike. There were some controls that just needed to be replaced, so I'm having that done. That's a separate part of just some control work that I'm having them do as long as they're in the building. But I even had them go through the part of the building that didn't get affected by the lightning strike, recommission everything there, just dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's is what I'm doing, making sure we're ready to go.
So that means all the new equipment that was installed is ready, just push the button.
The air system.
Yep, we're good to go. Chris Hunt has just, I think, 3 more Atmos units to wire, and he'll finish that up. Yeah, probably, if not this week, the week after.
Sounds good.
And Joel,
All
as
right.
long as you're here, I took note of the comment about the improved quality of the air from that system.
I'll just give you an example, Larry. There's a middle school science, or Glenn, sorry. There's a middle school science room where they keep a couple of reptiles. And I don't know if you're familiar with pet reptiles, but anytime you walk into a room where there's pet reptiles, there's a distinctive smell. And ever since, and you could, as soon as you cleared the door of that room, you could smell those reptiles. Ever since that Atmos unit has been running, you cannot smell that anymore.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's just one example. The other example is the high school science area. One of the instructors has like some fish tanks in there, kind of a similar scenario with as far as the smell. Again, you can not negligible when you walk in the space. So it's working really well.
Great. That's super good news.
When you said reptiles, I thought maybe, oh, with the new system, they're starting to grow faster or something.
Not that I'm aware of, Larry.
Good job.
Thank you. Anything else? Anyone have questions on?
Well, just the other thing I'd like to comment, and I know it's been commented before, but the lighting system that they put up outside this year, that was just fantastic. I don't know who was all involved in that, but by God, they should have a good pat on their backs for that. It was beautiful.
That the custodial staff and myself, we put in quite a few hours of that, and it was an enjoyable experience. There was a couple of days where it got a little cold for us, but for the most part, we had a good time doing it, and seeing the smiles on those kids' faces made it all worthwhile, for sure.
Well, next
Yeah,
year
it
you're
was
gonna
awesome.
have to top that.
It'll have to be the whole block.
Yeah, well, if you're not gonna have kids in school, that would be attainable. We did have a little extra time without kids in the building, but I don't think we want to do that.
Mm.
Good
Right.
job.
Thank you for that, Larry. I appreciate that. And I'll pass that along to staff.
Sounds good.
Hey, Joel, I just have a question. Have we talked a little bit about inspecting the rec center? Has that gone anywhere?
I have not addressed that yet, but that's on my agenda right after the first of the year.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone, we have a motion on the floor from Cindy, a second by Esme to move the return date, if allowable, to January 25th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
6.2 is the 2021 FoodWise SNAP Ed Programming Agreement.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion by Cindy and a second by Larry. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, board. 6.3 course handbook changes. I believe there's a request from admin to table, Beth.
That's correct. I talked to some folks on the admin team today, and I would like to table that.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion by myself and a second by Cindy to table. Any questions, board? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Point 4, we have the 1920 winter transportation update.
Okay, that's me. Thank you. So I had a phone conversation with Arnie Nelson today, and the update is that he just had a few questions that we went over, things like who's their point of contact person. It used to be Dave Weber. It will be Joel Showman for any daily updates and correspondence, regarding maybe schedule adjustment, special weather considerations. They have shared the agreements, the insurance, all of that documentation. So we just talked through that. There aren't any changes or adjustments at this point. I did request the daily fee amount, and they will be working on that to send that over to the district. At this point, after that conversation, he'll have Kathy work up the agreement. He'll sign it and bring it over to the district, and then we'll proceed. So the one piece that we're just waiting on is the daily fee. And then he thinks we're going to have an ice road this year. I asked him, I said, what is it looking like? He's like, oh yeah, we're going to have the ice road. Yeah, so Arnie must know. So I guess that was another piece of the conversation.
Maybe in February.
Right.
So do we want to move on this now, or are we going to wait until we get the rest of that information, Beth?
I feel like, and folks who've been through this before, please chime in. I know that Glenn, we had a little bit of a conversation about just that daily fee. My first reaction to it was that it seemed high, and after Glenn's explanation and the fact that the town pays a very comparable fee, and it's a service that we need. They do a fantastic job. In discussion with Arnie on the phone, it's, he feels it's going to be pretty darn close to what it was last year. I'm comfortable with moving forward with just buttoning up the winter transportation agreement.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve this should say 2021 winter transportation agreement, right?
Instead of 1920.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the 2021 winter transportation agreement with the Bayfield School District.
I'll second. Again, assuming that Beth gets the paperwork she needs.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Is there a vote?
Oops, sorry, I was talking to myself, guys. I was on mute.
Wake up, Nicole.
We have a motion by Debbie and a second by Glenn. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. 6.5, consider staff retirement.
Wow.
Wow.
That's all I said when I read that.
Yeah.
I have a question though regarding this.
You want to
On-
bring in an executive or is it?
Well, it's just something maybe just they can clarify. It's just simple because we're saying we're looking at what is it? Staff resignation
Retirement.
or retirement. We're looking at retirement and then they're resigning from their position. Is that the way it should read, or is it what should it read looking at retiring? Because to me, I don't know, maybe I'm reading it wrong. They're resigning at the end of the year, they're just plain resigning.
Mhm.
So shouldn't it be retired, retiring, or I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm
Yeah.
just questioning it.
I'd prefer to have the retirement statement.
Me too.
Yeah, because otherwise it sounds like they're just going to be done. They're quitting and without any accomplishments that they've earned over the years of doing this, you know. And but
Right.
that's what I was just questioning.
Well, talking with my daughter, she said she's retiring. She didn't say resigning.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There is, and that's what the letters state, that they're resigning. So
Oh, can we
Good
change
call.
that?
Yes, change it. And the motion is to approve staff retirements.
Is there a motion?
Not yet.
I'll make a motion that we accept the staff retirements and note them as retirements.
second,
And I would say, and I don't know what is traditional in this, but these two people, between the two of them, 59 years of service to the district. I think that I would hope that we will do something. You know, I know that they get the proverbial rocking chair, but you know, I think that they're really deserving
they
of.
deserve the recognition. Yep.
Yeah, thanks.
I think we should send them to Hawaii for.
I want to go.
Only if they take dad, right?
Take
Support.
the board.
We have a motion by Glenn and a second by Cindy to accept the retirement of both Karen DePerry and Annie Sullivan. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to refrain from voting.
Okay, we have one abstention.
Thank you.
Motion carries. And I'll just say both of those ladies were there when I went to Bayfield School K-12.
Wow.
Probably preschool 12 for Annie.
Me too, and I'm older than you, Nicole.
Spring school board election schedule posted there for the scene. And we have 3 seats that are up for re-election.
So these are just the posted dates of when they gotta file, when things take place, right?
Correct.
Okay. Motion approved.
Second.
And in discussion,
What we need?
Debbie, you
you're
muted
mute.
yourself.
I think it's just information.
Debbie, you muted yourself.
what? Did I mute myself? I'm sorry. I was gonna say in discussion that all three of us are stepping down. And so you guys need to get out there and find some good folks to step in and take over for Larry and Glenn and myself.
Yep.
So I'm ending a 15-year career there.
Cindy, don't leave us.
Yes. Got another year, so.
And
So,
I'm only leaving because I'm running for town chair over here on the island. And I don't yet have an opponent, so there's probably a decent chance that I'll get elected. And
well, very good chance.
Looking pretty good, eh?
yeah, well, no opponents really help, you know, right?
Does.
Well, the deadline's getting close for this position, so.
Yeah.
Does it require action, Linda, or are you just posting it for information?
Sorry about that. Just for information, Nicole.
Okay, so are you ladies okay retracting your motion?
Yes.
Yep.
Linda, can you share if you have gotten people signing up to run?
I haven't.
Okay, so I know there's interest, so it's on all of us now to just kind of like let them know. I have let them know what the deadline is, but I will continue to do so.
Mhm.
And it's much easier than running for like any other thing, really. Even for town board, you need to get like 20 signatures. School board, you don't need to get any except your own. So people don't even have to ask people to sign a petition.
Right.
What happens if they don't have paperwork in by that January 5th deadline? Like if you don't have anybody running, then does that deadline get extended or what happens?
Well,
No.
there's an extension. There is an extension if Larry or Debbie don't submit a statement of non-candidacy. And that would then extend the time period, I believe, just for their seat. But if no one files by, you know, whatever the due date is, then there won't be any names on the ballot and it'll be just a whole write-in situation. And then people have to know that they have to actually register as a write-in candidate ahead of time, like a week ahead of time for their write-in votes to be counted.
Okay, I'll
I
get
have a feeling
information.
people will step forward.
I do too. Although it won't be the same without you guys.
I know.
I know, I've been shocked here. I didn't know all three of you guys were. Wow.
It was a hard decision, but it's time.
All right, let's move on.
Larry
back.
could always move back to Bayfield.
No, I can't get a deal like I got right now.
I know a realtor, Larry. I could help you out.
No, thanks. If you could match what I got right now, I would, but no, I won't. I'm all done moving.
Let's move to policy 3231, outside activities of professional staff, I think it's supposed to say. Any
These
questions?
are policies that are new. Am I right, Linda?
They are new. And Chris Petrito suggested they go in the employee handbook, which we saw there. Not very clearly, but this is it for professional and support staff.
Mhm.
I read through it for both the outside, both for the professional staff and the support staff, and I didn't see anything that I would have any objection to, and it looked professionally done. So I'm going to put it on the floor as a motion, so then we can open up further discussion. But I'm going to make a motion to approve policy 3231 on outside activities of professional staff.
Yeah, I liked it. I think that it kind of spells out more clearly for the staff what is discouraged in terms of just how to conduct yourself.
Exactly.
Most of the time it's a given. We have great staff, so it shouldn't be an issue.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Carries. Policy 4231, outside activities of support staff.
Same thing, it's new. Recommended that we apply it to our policy manual and stuff. Motion approved.
Second.
Is that you, Esme?
Yeah.
We have a motion by Cindy and a second by Esme. Any further questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries. Moving on to policy 8450.01, personal protective equipment.
Again, I'll make a motion to approve policy 8450.01 on personal protective equipment for our district.
And I see, Linda, you added that in there with the Red Cliff community and the Bayfield County, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
No problem.
I have a motion by Debbie and a second by Cindy. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Point 10 on our agenda is to schedule a board retreat. Any preferences, board, between January 23rd or January 30th?
The
For
30th.
Yeah, the 30th, I think. My birthday on the 22nd, so
No,
it really doesn't matter a whole lot.
Doesn't
What,
make-
Megan?
Oh, I like the 30th too, if that can work for others. That first one's at the end of the first week of the semester for the
Yeah.
college. It's just a busy week.
Yeah.
So we usually do it in the morning. It's 9 to 12 typically. Doesn't take a full day, but the 30th works for everyone. Let's get it on the calendar. January 30th, 9 to 12.
Virtual.
Virtual's fine with me, or in person.
Let's decide closer to see where things are at. There could be a big change between now and then.
I'm down with that.
Sure.
Say with the board retreat, it, I was just thinking, January, we're only a couple of months away from elections and you're gonna do it again. Wouldn't you be just better off just to hold off and wait till elections are over?
I think there's historically been 2 board retreats a year,
yeah.
and I don't think we had one in the second part of the,
No, and I think it's a good time, yeah, to have one we usually have one in September or October, don't we?
yes,
Yeah,
and that didn't happen.
right.
If there's any way we can have this in person, like was said here, that if things and conditions are good, let's do it that way. But we can make that decision down the road.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for regular session. We do have 2 items for executive. In accordance with Wisconsin statute 19.85, we have a hire of support staff worker and compensation work group update.
Linda, I have still not received an email on my Gmail regarding the executive session.
And I don't have one either.
Who was
Me?
that? Esme?
Oh, that's Beth. No, it's Beth. Unless you just sent it.
Oh, let's see.
Usually it's sent to Deb at the meeting.
No, Deb's not on this, right? The one that I can see in front of me.
You have one, Nicole?
Yep. I'm gonna
Everybody
just
else
forward it
got
back.
I
one?
have
Okay.
one. You might
Okay,
have to
maybe-
refresh your browser or your email.
Yeah, I have one. Larry, do you have one?
Yes, I have one.
I do not.
Didn't get it. Cindy, yours is in your Yahoo. But I can forward it to your school email.
Back in my Yahoo.
Cindy,
When
Beth.
was it sent? Okay, you're gonna send it now. All right, I'll check.
On 14.
I just sent it, Beth.
Okay, I
Okay.
got it.
Thank you.
We
Okay,
need
I
a
got it in my Yahoo.
we need a motion, guys.
Motion to go on executive.
Second.
Motion by Cindy and a second by Larry. Could we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Getting there. Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Debbie Knopf,
Yes,
Larry Derrigan,
Yes.
Magdalene Dale,
Yes.
and Esme Martinson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you
Thanks,
executive?
board. Motion carries. See you in executive.